Now, this since I already mentioned the update here, now we already know everyone knows the contestants of like first boots and the finalists. I mean, not finalists, winners. So yes, but I'll start with like the winners and first boots, like first boots versus winners. So here's the first boots and winners. So here's a mind. If you hear a name that you're not familiar with, it's because they're updated like some point in time. So, and also here's a mind. I'm trying to make this season a little bit more interesting because try to make a like what kind of like narrate starting strong because it's best to be strong. Anyways, yes, these are all first boots and winners. So each contestant entered the the kitchen. Each chef. That was a bad start. Anyways, and pretty much each season there will always be one winner. This season is first boots from previous seasons versus the winners of previous seasons, even the most recent ones. So now they're all gathered around. The first boots are in the blue kitchen, and the winners are in the red kitchen. They both start prepping, and some chefs have gotten a point, the others not so much. And how lucky they were to still be here is something. No one was lemonade right off the bat. The starting of first comms is Louis, who tried to figure out what happened here, why is everyone here. Despite the fact some of these are here returned to either win twice or the second time, or they're here for redemption arc. He has no idea about this. So then then the winner happened to be the winners, which is red kitchen. Blue kitchen's punishment just happened to be just clean dishes. That's just it. That's just for the first punishment. Probably the lightest punishment of this season. So yeah. Now checking on the winner team. They got to enjoy bowling. And then they got to end up enjoying some food from a fancy restaurant. Then the confessional, Paul and Nona both posted about their chef status, and no one has any idea what's gonna happen in the first service. So buckle your seats, everyone. Now each chef's goal is to make it to into win. But first, they have to go through their opening night service. And let me tell you, the blue team, despite the fact had to deal with the punishment, they were rolling so hard. But there was trouble with Melissa and Louis stations. With Louis' station being meat, and Melissa's being the dessert station. And despite the fact that they had a good start, other chefs started to fumble a bit, excluding a couple of first boots. The only first boots that struggled here, the only ones, the ones that start struggling are right off the bat Sebastian and basically Tavon. They struggled at their station with prep. But however, on the red team, Paul started to fumble miserably on meat station. And with Nona messing up on the appetizers. And let's just say Gordon Ramsay being a little bit mad was an understatement. He was extremely mad to where he called them both donkeys. And the other winner, one of the winners, with that being Christina, also struggled, and same with Janae from season 11 winner. So then, while Janae and Lessis and Christina bounce back, same cannot be said for Paul and Nona, to where Dormans was so angry that the next person will get kicked out middle of the service and eliminated. And let's just say Paul right off the bat learned this the hard way. And let's say when he lashed back, and Gordon Ramsay gave him the first boot. Makes Paul the first boot of winners versus first boots. And then Nona, an hour later, followed right after him with her messing up on dessert station afterwards, making her the second boot already. Both kitchens hasn't shut down yet, and luckily for them, they were able to complete service. But that was one of the worst mid services I ever seen in my life. Sorry, not Melissa. Sorry. I meant to say Polly, not Melissa. Sorry. Correcting error myself. Anyways. And despite both of them making service, they both lost. Due to just how bad the service was. Luckily, both teams completed it. But Ramsay was disappointed at the fact that the first boots and winners had time, excluding the last three, since they had a long time to develop. How bad did both the first two boots did of this season, that Gordon Ramsay compared them to Matt from season 20, who wasn't the first boot in that season. And sadly, despite the fact that no one should have gone home, he eliminated me when it came to the confessionals. Louis didn't even own up to mistakes, and let's just say he blamed it on Tavon and the first boot of season 24. I forgot his name, by the way. Let's just say the first boot of both those two seasons, Tavon and whoever is in season 24, did not take it very well. And they lashed it back out at Louis for doing terrible on his station. And Polly had owned up to hers. Polly admitted that she wasn't doing well on her station, and the others chose Tavon and the 24th boot. Despite the fact that the winner should have been professional, let's just say Dave and Ariel from season 15 started rivalry, while Danny keeps sniffing at shoes for some reason, like it was an obsession. But on the best of the worst of both kitchens, Megan Gill and Pat both kept the kitchen going. So they were announced as the ones who had to put people up. When they came to nominate someone, let's just say that Pat did choose Antonia. However, it was because she did have a couple hiccups, and they were causing their service to slow down a bit. While Polly, it was because of her station. And Gordon kind of questioned the Antonia decision, but however, he didn't question about the Polly. Just despite the Gail didn't like the arguing, she put up Janae as her first person to put up for elimination because she messed up on her station, while she put up Christina from season 4 up for elimination as well, with the same thing. And then let's just say Scott afterwards was scared a bit because he hasn't seen this many people up before on opening night in a while, for sure. Let's just say the winner of Hell's Kitchen season 17 of All Stars, Michelle, was given to who should Gordon Ramsay send home, and she said something that's kind of questionable, which is send Janelle home. And Gordon Ramsay kind of gave her a confused face. He's like, "What? You kidding me?" After you bounce back. And then turns out for some reason Michelle wants to keep Christina around, but Janae not around. But however, Janae found back when she liked it. What's wrong with Michelle a bit, which is she won't take accountability for picking the one person sent home. And Michelle owned up for her sake, and she mentioned in confessional she kind of regret that decision afterwards. Because Polly was sent home being the third boot of the season. Despite the fact that he sent home a third person this night, oh god, he was not done. He had it with one more contestant. So, ready to hear a drum roll of who gets sent home next? As the fourth boot? Drum roll, please. Everyone had a shocking face when he said Louis, but the only people who weren't surprised were the winners the winners of Hell's Kitchen on the red team. And also, the only person who wasn't surprised were Pat and Sebastian, surprisingly, weren't surprised he was sent home. Gordon Ramsay mentioned that Nona and Paul should have been able to bounce back after a terrible service like that. But they both couldn't own up to it, so he had to eliminate them during service. Paula, even though he credited her for being honest, but she ended up crapping her pants. While David, he looked like just a lost doll. Then, so anyways, hope you guys enjoy this, and this is my first time narrating a bit. So hopefully the story is interesting, you guys. Keep in mind, try to make this interesting as much as possible, while not boring. Meanwhile, I'm not making this so unfair. Anyways, hope I'm just keeping the video a little bit longer. So you guys, if you guys have any questions like who you think who will just go home next, or who will make it far, just let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoy this, and see you guys next time. And keep in mind, these will just be out every week further. Okay? Bye.